So I've been thinking for a while that it would be nice to do a bit of a reflective video around turning 30. Because I've been 30 for a month now. um, and it's, from some perspectives, it's a big deal. From other perspectives, it's not, One day you might think of it as just another number, just another day, you turn 30, or you're just one day older than yesterday. It doesn't feel like anything major. And other days you kind of realize, damn, I'm not in my 20s anymore. It's like, feels like the transition from youth to middle age almost, or at least, uh, you know, that it's symbolic of some transition. If you're new here, by the way, my name's Dr. Sil. I'm a junior doctor from Australia. Although right now I'm not much of a doctor. It's Sunday night. I'm home alone. I got my cup of chamomile. I'm getting ready for bed. I don't know if you can see my companion, Albie. He's getting ready to snuggle. And this is being 30, hanging out at home, cup of chamomile, chilling out, doing a hobby, hanging out with your dog. It's nice. Yeah. For me, turning 30 was a big deal that I was well prepared for because I knew it was going to be a big deal. So my whole 29th year really was about preparing to be 30. And I had to kind of come to terms with the reality of life, that this might sound vain or something, but I do feel like I'm getting less attractive, and that was one thing to note. My self-image was changing, but to be okay with that was something I had to work through. And the other thing is, like, the 20s was really about aesthetics in a way. I wanted to build muscle and look strong, but in the last month I've gotten a couple of injuries, and I realized, man, I got to work on stability. I got to work on function. I got to work on mobility. So it's really about a lot more stretching and warming up and strengthening. Not for the goals of being attractive, but for the goal of longevity. So there's kind of a change in health focus as well. I think it's hard to say goodbye to youth because it was just, I mean, everyone has a different experience, but I just had so much fun. I had really lovely friends. I mucked around a lot, but I also worked hard and got through medicine, and I had a good balance. But I never shook the feeling like I could have, traveled more or had more fun. And I probably never will shake that feeling, but I can say that I just, had a week with friends, and I just spent a week traveling with friends in Amsterdam and Istanbul, and it was just magnificent. It's way nicer to travel when you have money, so you can be way more comfortable. I mean, I used to travel when I was 19 with no money, and slept in some dodgy places and did some dodgy stuff. So it's nice now to be a bit more comfortable and and that kind of thing. But I guess I make that point to say that even though I'm getting older, I still can travel and explore and learn and have fun and play. But there's a different flavor to it. There's a deeper sense of security with who I am and my quirks and things to work on and things I accept. And and also the need to impress. I do have, as a psychological vulnerability, a need for approval, and it's something I'm aware of. It's something I work through, and I think I've done a bloody good job at not needing to impress and have the attention of the group, and being more at peace with not being the center of attention and that kind of thing. And I often ask myself, what is YouTube doing? What's my relationship with YouTube? Is it about validating, or is it something, hopefully it is more profound, around making entertaining and educating content that's related to mental health stuff? I guess this video is more about self-development and growth rather than anything specifically psychiatric. But this channel also serves as a bit of a video diary. And I got a couple of nice messages about the journey through medicine and psychiatry. So I will make some more videos about the journey rather than just mental health education stuff. But yeah, 30 is okay. It's good. A lot of people feel a lot of pressure to have their life sorted by the age of 30. I'm very fortunate that, fortunate, there's pros and cons to every kind of way you take it, but for whatever it's worth, for better or worse, I had a very structured life, and was on the conveyor belt of medicine and specialization throughout my 20s, so didn't have any kind of career anxiety. It's really once you come off the conveyor belt that it starts being more anxiety provoking. I call it a conveyor belt because the next step is always like pretty clear. Like when you start medicine, you've got 6 years of a very clear runway ahead of you. When you start as a doctor, if you know what you want to specialize in, you've got, basically 8 to 10 years in front of you that are pretty clear in terms of what you have to do. It's not like working at a startup and then changing to a corporate and then changing to a not-for-profit and then changing area of expertise and that kind of thing. Life in medicine is a bit different. That being said, there's plenty of opportunities to do quirky things on the side, like YouTube or other things. So I've been interested in entrepreneurship and what would I do. So at the moment, it's just YouTube, and that kind of covers my entrepreneurial drive enough. But once I'm a psychiatrist and I finish my training and I have some free time and I can structure my weeks to my own desire, then who knows what I'll do. It would be cool to have my own practice, to have maybe some more online presence, maybe run a podcast, that kind of thing. But so being 30, you think about all these things, I guess. But I think I have a home. I never had that in my 20s. This is my home. It's unfinished and there's things to do around the place, but it's home and I love it. And that's been really special to have my own space, to have a place where I work out, have a place where I make videos. Although this is not my typical place where I make videos. I'm just trying to be more spontaneous and make more kind of authentic, reflective content too. And my goal is to really reduce my technology use. And that's pretty hard if you're actively posting on things like Instagram and Facebook. So that's why I don't post that much anymore. YouTube's been really good. I can continue to post to YouTube and have a healthy relationship with technology. But Facebook and Instagram, you end up just consuming more content than you produce and getting hooked into that doom scroll. It doesn't add that much value in life. I'd much rather go have a cup of tea with a friend. All by myself, it's important to get along with yourself. I think that's been an important part of my 20s, is to develop a relationship with myself where I like myself and I can get along with myself and I can spend a day by myself and do bits and bobs, not need to avoid myself. Is there anything else from your point of view, Abby? This is my comic relief. I don't know if you guys have him in focus, but having a dog like Albie is a wonderful existential killer. Like you can be so stressed about whatever you want to be stressed about, but if you've got a little puppy like him, it just reminds you to be in the present, enjoy a cup of tea, chill out, and have a scratch. Like half of his day is just finding new places to have a little lie down to get comfortable. So that's a nice reminder for everyone that don't have to get too distressed by things. You can just have a simple day and not need to be a hyper productive individual. I think like as I'm getting older, I want to connect. I'm connecting more with history. So throughout my teenage years, well, you know, when I was a kid learning about history, it was just I studied in the French system, and the way they teach history, in my opinion, is not very good. It's just like memorizing. Well, my memory of it is that it was just memorizing dates and events and kings and political systems, and it was there was no emotional connection to it. I felt very disconnected. So it was more, like the person who did best in history was the person who could memorize dates the best. But now I'm realizing, like, far out, these people had experiences as real as mine. You know, just I think as I'm getting older, I'm being able to empathize more deeply, and that makes learning about history much more evocative. When I was in Istanbul, I went to Gallipoli and was with some history buffs and learned so much, and so learning about history makes me worry a bit more about the present. And you know, I'm trying to think about how can I use psychiatry and my skill set to contribute to global stability, you know, as a generic term, because you know the world, it's an incredible thing we've done with the place, this Earth, but it's not as stable as it probably should be. and so what can I do to add to that stability? I don't know. I'm keen to hear your thoughts. What is a way that someone with a skill set of psychiatry can add to global stability? Maybe it's via public education. That's probably a very impactful way to add to global stability. Yeah, you know, podcasts and stuff can have a significant impact. I'll think about it. Anyway, Sunday night, my chamomile's almost done. It's time for, well, so I say, instead of saying it's time to sleep, I say it's time for fedodo, which is just a cute way of saying it's time to go sleepy time. It's like something you tell to a French kid. C'est l'heure de faire dodo. Dodo means sleep. So I just like to say it's time to faire dodo. Oh, that's so silly. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. I wish you guys all a beautiful day. Thanks for listening to my rant about being 30. A couple of months ago, I wrote out a script for this and I completely forgot what was on it. I just felt like making this video, so I did.